Mini is off the trailer. Next one up is the Honda. This was a project in itself because once upon a time I took the door handles off and the battery is completely dead, so all the ways to get in the car are gone, and I had to pick the lock, but finally got into it. Now I can take the emergency brake off and it'll roll. Speaking of rolling, the way that I'm going to get it onto this trailer is I got this little electric winch, which I will do a little unboxing of in a separate video, but it's a 3,500 pound winch and it was pretty cheap. I'll link to it in the description. And the plan is I got this trailer hitch receiver reducer, and I'm going to weld that directly to the floor of the trailer. Then I'm going to take this old bike rack and weld the winch mount onto the top of that and cut this off, obviously, and then I'll be able to mount the winch on here, put it in there when I need to use it, and then when I don't need to use it I can take it out and put it in this box, and this will keep it relatively safe and dry and out of the weather and out of the way when it's not in use. So I'm going to put together the unboxing video here, move the trailer over to the welder, and then start welding this up. So I'll try to video some of that, and also kind of racing the weather again today. So we'll see if we get it done. And ultimately the goal is to get this car on this trailer. I got the welder in place. I need to mark that with this pen, take off the paint, and then also put on longer sleeves because I got burnt last time. Then I can get that welded on. Got shop dog in place, and then I can move on to modifying this bike rack hitch to accept the mounting plate for this. With that ground, I need to grind this off, but I'm going to use the bench grinder because I think it'll be easier. So it's going to go there, welded down both sides, and welded right here just for a little bit of extra. And I think that should be plenty. The receiver is welded onto the trailer. I marked this with an orange line just to make sure that I don't weld that on too far this way, so it won't fit in the receiver all the way enough so that this hole lines up. Now I just need to cut this part off of that, and then I can grind a little bit of paint off, grind some paint off of that, weld those up, bolt all of this together, get a battery, and then we can try it out. Not the prettiest, but one side down, almost ready to go in there. Getting a battery will give me a chance to let all this stuff cool. Let me get the other side welded up and I'll go get a battery. Alright, time to let that cool. Got the battery. I got a marine battery. I was going to get a different one so I could reuse it in the van. I might still could reuse this one in the van. It's not an AGM battery, it's just a regular lead acid battery, I guess is the word I was trying to think of. But got the battery. Need to hook all this up, mount the winch to this, put this in there. Before I do that, I'm going to put a little bit of paint on it. And it's starting to thunder and the wind is picking up, so definitely racing the weather at this point. On the control box, everything is really nicely labeled. Winch positive, winch negative, and battery positive, battery negative. I will have to cut these off and put on larger ones to fit the battery, but that may not be a universal problem. Alright, hook is installed, the controller's installed, and this just goes to this manual switch with a handlebar mount. I'm not going to worry about hooking this up right now. If the remote control works, I'm just going to go ahead and use that. I got everything hooked up and I have the remote in hand, which works really nicely. So this will allow me to use this winch from a safe winch from this. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. This will allow me to use this winch from a safe distance. And the nice thing is that this cable is so long, have enough room to go down the ramps, and there's still plenty more on the spool if you need even more. Now I'm gonna hook up a car, that car, and see if I can pull it onto the trailer. I got the trailer in place. The winch is hooked up to the receiver still, battery, cable coming all the way down, and I have it hooked to the tow point of this Honda. Right now, all I'm gonna do is just tension it up real quick. If this is tensioned enough, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now that it's about as tight as it's going to be, I'm going to release the emergency brake from in the car, and it shouldn't roll back because it's hooked up to the trailer, and it should just roll forward. Also, the nice thing about this remote is you can get in and steer the car while doing the winch, kind of as a one-man operation or woman operation. So far, so good. If you saw it struggling a little bit, these ramps have big holes in them, so the tire was falling into this, and then it had to just pull it up and over each one of these rungs. But so far, it seems to be going along rather nicely. This is what I was talking about it having to get over each hump. Back tires are off the ramps, just has to go a little bit further and I can do it from here. And now that the car is on the trailer successfully, the nice thing about my setup here is I can pull the pin, keep it in the box right here so it doesn't have to sit out in the rain that we are about to have for sure. And then the battery can go maybe in the box too. Now that I have the car strapped to the trailer, I don't need this to hold it anymore. This is actually pretty loose. And so I'm gonna release the winch. Oh, turn it on. Then I can unhook it. Which is harder with one hand than it looks. And then I guess tighten it back up. This is hooked to the tow hook of the car. And then in here, so if all else fails, hopefully this won't fail, and it keeps you from losing your hitch pin. So kind of an added bonus in there. The trailer is empty again. That's it for this vlog. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Check the description for the stuff I use, like the winch. Comment if you liked this video and would like to see more stuff like this, and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks for watching.